Welcome to your success. You've built a life others admire. You've achieved, delivered, and become someone people rely on. But somewhere along the way, it stopped feeling like yours. Mentor Krister Johnson and Elin know that feeling. After following successful paths of their own, they chose something different. More clarity, more freedom, more presence. Today, they help high achievers design lives that feel true, not just impressive. This podcast is for those ready for their next chapter. Not more pressure, not more performance, but a life that feels like yours with clarity and direction. Welcome to your success.
Warm welcome to Your Success podcast. I am a mentor, Krister Johnson, and with me today is...
As always, Elin, your wife and business partner.
Yes, and today we have a very, very exciting subject, Elin.
Yes, we do. Because if your life looks successful on paper, but something inside you feels off, this episode is for you. Because this feeling is not a problem, it's a signal. And today we are going to show you exactly what it is telling you. So, Krister, why do so many high achievers feel uneasy even when everything seems to be working?
Well, I can absolutely recognize that feeling because I've been there myself. It's like everything was successful on the outside, just inside me I got more and more unaligned. Maybe that is the right word. That I felt this, and it's like my soul was telling me that there is more to life than what you do now. You have fixed the corporate life. I mean, I have two wonderful kids. I was in a good marriage, and I had the corporate career. And then it's still the higher up I got, the more I worked, the less aligned with me I felt. And so I can absolutely recognize that feeling. And, high achievers, we are so used to delivering. We are so used to doing the same thing over and over again. We run projects, we run companies. Maybe you run your own business. Maybe you do that. Maybe you are a consultant. Maybe you are a lawyer or a doctor. Or you just have your own. You're an entrepreneur. And we high achievers, they adapt, they perform, and they deliver. That's not the issue, We know how to do that. We are really good at delivering. You know how I am. When you say that I'm like a Duracell bunny. And now when I am that, I'm absolutely aligned. So there is no limit to my energy, right? The same with you. When we do what we love, like we do now, it's just fun, right? And energy just comes. But then when you do something that you don't like, right? Inside, you might think, maybe this is as good as it gets. As I thought, maybe this is how it's supposed to be. And I didn't dare to listen to my inner feelings. I started to feel misaligned like 15 years before I actually dared to do the change and to listen to that and take that seriously. But over time, like we have built this life that works really good. It's like a project, you have run the projects. It's like, okay, I have done that, and I make more and more money, and I have that car, I have those vacations, those really cool vacations. One of the guys that we work on, he's on our marketing team. He reminded me, because he is a friend of my son, and he reminded me about all those fancy vacations we went on. I didn't know that he thought they were fancy. We just went on vacation. But we went to the Caribbean, we went to Mystique, a private island. We went wherever we wanted, right? And we stayed at really nice hotels and had nice flights and all that. And to me, that was just a bonus of life. But when we had been there like 3-4 times, it was like, okay, what's next? And then we didn't know. So over time, you just build this life that you're supposed to feel good. And because you get a new car, you do that, and you have the fancy dinners and all that. But that it is growth, of course. But it is more of the same, gives more of the same. Right? So it's not a failure. It's just that you have built something that doesn't fit you anymore. You have built it based on who you were before, not who you are today.
Yeah. So what is it that actually pulls people away from themselves?
Well, first of all, let me just say that you don't feel off because something is wrong. You feel off because you have become a a different version of you. You have become a higher, you can say you are an expression of a higher self. Right, you have upgraded from version 1.0, and then you are giving birth to version 2.0 or 3.0, just like we upgrade and up. The difference, I often say that we upgrade. I mean, compared to upgrading your phone or your computer, that is effortless because there is no resistance, there is no memory, there is no emotion in it, right? And memory is emotional. In my iPhone, it has memory, but it doesn't have emotions, right? So it's not afraid of upgrading. It's not afraid of losing what you have. Right? You see that? Yeah. And we are the same way. I mean, we can upgrade our programming because we have habits, we have programs that run us all day. We have all these paradigms, out of the 70 to 80,000 thoughts we have every day, 95% of them are automated and most of them are really good.
I was actually thinking that I know that the phone is not afraid of upgrading, but I am afraid of upgrading my phone. That's why I never do it.
Because you're afraid of losing what you have, right? Because you're attached to the pictures and attached to the
it's a good analogy.
Yeah. But then, I mean, it's okay to be afraid of change, right? But the fear doesn't come there because you are supposed to be stuck. The fear is a signal from the higher you, from who you truly want to be, that it's time to move. And most people misunderstand fear. They think, oh, I'm so afraid of that, therefore I cannot do it. But then you will stay in that fear, right? And the effortless way is actually to conquer that fear and say, I'm going to do it. Because fear and regret is lifelong, but challenging now is just here and now. So every time I procrastinate and every time I'm afraid of something, I train myself to do it immediately. Because I know that who I want to be, the life I want to have, the new me, to upgrade the new me, I have to conquer those feelings, right? It's not about rationality, it's about the emotional mind. It's about being emotional. And then you ask me, what is it that actually pulls people away from themselves? It is themselves. Right? Life is a journey. A physiotherapist that helped me walking again because, I don't know, that was before I met you. It's like 15 years ago, I was not able to walk, right? And it was not a mental thing, it's a physical thing.
You could walk, you just couldn't walk.
I could walk like 50 meters and then I had to stop, right? I had some pinching in my back that kind of numbed my legs but he's a great guy. And he helped me. I mean, I ran half marathon after with his help. Not that he held my hand, but he got my body going again. And he said, life is a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And I say, well, it's a marathon of sprints because we do sprints all the time. We cannot just procrastinate and say it's a marathon, so it doesn't matter, right? But it is to have focus on what you want. And during life, you change, right? When I took my master's on business school, I had an idea of what I wanted to do. But I don't keep that idea the rest of my life. I grow. Right? We have worked with dentists. I mean, we have been in charge of dental clinics, so I know that business quite well. And dentists, and the same with lawyers, and the same with doctors and nurses as well. They have this self-image that this is what I do. And it's really difficult to change. But what if you want to do something else? Like you are a nurse, and now you are an entrepreneur. You were an entrepreneur way earlier than me, right? And you started up your own company. And it's okay to want something else because that is what life is about. Abraham Hicks said that we fire all these rockets of desire, boom, and then, oh, that would be cool. Yeah, I have pictures of all my rockets of desires in front of me. Right?
I think that just... You talk about all these groups of education that really feel that they have to do this. It's what the society just makes a label on you. If you're a nurse, you're supposed to do this. If you're a lawyer, you're supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do anything else. You have the label. You educated, finished as a nurse. This is the rest of your life.
Yeah, but that is your choice.
Yes, I know. I know that.
It is not, but that is really important. Because we always say in all our programs to reject and accept ideas is the most important thing you do. You have accepted the idea that you are a nurse. You have accepted the idea that is who you are. So your self-image, your story, the story you tell yourself every day is that this is who I am.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But when I was finished my education, I never thought of that as being a nurse. I thought of that as now is the time when I'm starting to learn. Now is the time where I can take what I have learned and use it for what I want to do.
Yes, but you are
the rest of my
different.
life.
You are different, just like I am different, right?
Yeah.
Most people, they just live every day on routine. They think about responsibility. And they think about the expectations. And that is the biggest mistake you can do. We just started a new program called Shortcut to Freedom. And I told them the only responsibility you have is to live the life, is to be the best version of you, is to live the life you want. And they were completely silent. I said, just accept that idea. The better version you are of yourself, the more true you are to yourself. The more you get, the more people will love you, and the more you will love yourself. Right? And that is to living life on others' expectations. I just have to do that. There are so many high achievers. And I want to say, high achiever is one thing, and then you have elite performers, right? High achiever is how I was. You just grinding, doing the hamster wheel and then, I post on LinkedIn on Sunday evening because that is when a lot of high achievers work. And why do you do that? Because it's expected, because you have to be prepared on Monday morning. What kind of life is that? Yeah. I work on Sunday because I want to. I have Diamond League next week, and I'm sure on Sunday evening, right, I'm going to take an hour and look over the presentation to make sure that absolutely the best I can deliver, because I always want to deliver top performance, right? But that is out of joy.
Usually we don't work on Sundays.
No, we don't.
Only if you want to.
Only if I want to. But that's a huge difference, right? I remember back when I always had to check. I stayed, I almost worked myself to death. I ended up in hospital, and I was very close of having a severe brain damage. Luckily, well, it didn't. So if you think I'm brain damaged, no, I'm not.
I can wonder sometimes. But
likewise. No, but it struck me further down, right? So, but not in my brain. But I was staying in hospital bed checking emails. Like, how stupid can you be? While they were pumping me full of drugs to get my blood pressure down. Right? And that is to do what is expected. You are so stuck in the hamster wheel that you're afraid of pausing. Right? Because everyone trusts you. You are the reliable one. And you say yes longer than it actually feels true. Right? And this goes back to then what I told my Shortcut to Freedom success group, Shortcut to Freedom group, is that the only responsibility you have is to live the life you want, right? If you want something, you should have it. And if you don't want it, say no, right? And it's okay. I am so selfish because I love you so much. Abraham Hicks again. It's a beautiful saying, but you need to let that sink in. And you have to dare being that, right? But you had dinner with your daughter yesterday, and then you asked me, do you want to join? No, I said, no, I don't, because I'm going to go training instead. I went to the gym because that was more important. And you had a wonderful dinner with her, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Always, yeah.
Hi, this is Christer. Thank you for watching and listening to our podcast. We really appreciate that. As you see, we love sharing how you can live the life you truly want, and we also love sharing how we live this every day. You know what changed my life is that I did one thing. I signed up for a strategy call with my first mentor. That was the one thing that changed my life. And that is why we offer you to do exactly the same thing with me and my team as well, because we know that call, those 30 minutes can be the thing that changes your life. So if you go to our website, christerjohnson.com, up in the right corner, you will find a button to click on. Click on that button and book a strategy call with us. It might be the best thing you ever done to change your life. Have a wonderful day. And now, back to the podcast.
A lot of people, or maybe listeners, are trying to fix this situation by pushing harder. And why does that fail? Because it does.
If you had known how, you had already done it. I think that's the easiest way. Discipline only works. And discipline only works when you are really aligned, right? And it's so easy to use your discipline the wrong way. You can be disciplined on doing the things you don't want to do. One thing is that you have to overcome. I can use the gym. You know that story. I can use the gym, right? I go spinning, and then I do weights, and I really like that. Maybe because I'm good at it, right? But the spinning, I always liked bicycling, and then I go spinning. And for me, it's like dancing. I really like the music and have the emotion, and I feel free. Right, and I push myself. I always push myself hard. Right, I just try not to go too high on pulse. Yesterday, I was like 5 beats away from the max pulse. That was really fun. And sometimes I think if I die from heart attack now, then I will be really happy. Yeah, then you can say I have a brain damage since I think those kind of thoughts, but that's another way. It's so easy to be disciplined on the wrong things. It's so easy to be disciplined on working Sunday. It's so easy to be disciplined to work 12 to... we have a client, Elin, that said that he used to work 19 hours a day. I said, how can you do that? And he doesn't want to do that. And that is why, how we help him now. We work with this organization, and we're going to work with this organization, and we work with him. It's like just to change his... Because it's a story you tell yourself, I just have to do that, have to do that, have to do that. And we see that among, as I said, among dentists, doctors, lawyers, everyone, right? That charge hours. They haven't understood that they should sell value instead. So discipline only works when you are aligned with who you truly want. Otherwise, you will be really disciplined and living the life you don't want, like I was, right? And it creates exhaustion. We get burned out. So then, more structure doesn't fix the wrong direction. Discipline doesn't fix the wrong direction. You have to change direction. And how do you do that? First of all, you have to sit down and calm down your mind, right? And it's like, slow down. Let the adrenaline go out of your body. Slow down. Reflect. How do you truly want to live, right? Because the way you create the life you truly want is to build a new model. You don't fight the existing model, you build a new model. Step by step by step.
Yeah, but I think people can be afraid of listening and feeling this, listening to this feeling they have inside, because then they just have to blow up their whole career and start over again. Is that true?
No.
It's not what you mean?
No. I mean, I started mentoring while I was in the corporate world. I did that like pro bono first, and then I saw that I was really good at it. And then I had some pro bono clients asking me if I could continue. And then I sold my first paid program. And the price was like 1/10 of what we charge today because I was afraid of that. But that's okay. I did a good job for him, helped him a lot. And so, but the point with that, and then I continued and I grew that competence and that skill set of mentoring, and then I just continued, right? And then one day it was time for me to transition. That was like 5 years ago, to change, right? To leave the corporate world. And so you don't need to have a radical movement. We have so many clients who are exactly the same. We have a high achieving, like he's a general manager for a large company, and they're growing really, really fast. And initially he came to me and said, I want to do the same thing as you. And I said, sure. And then he ended up staying in the career because a lot of things happened. When he changed, a lot of things happened, right? Positive things. So, I mean, you don't need that radical transition. It's just that you get aligned with yourself, and then you find out what you truly want, right? So most people, they need what we call the calibration, to calibrate and be true to your feelings. And calibration is to, like, how do I feel, James Allen, if you want to read a wonderful book, James Allen, As a Man Thinketh, he says, I have it in my drawer here, it says, man is mind, right? As a man thinketh in his heart, so he is, and it is the mind. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. It's like everything is here. We have brain cells in your heart, we have neural pathways going from the heart to the brain, and not from the brain to the heart. It's not interesting. It goes one way. Yeah. So it's all about how you feel. Happiness doesn't come from the next car or the next vacation, and you don't have time. You have like a lot of lawyers say they have workation. I said, excuse my language, that's bullshit.
That's a terrible word, actually.
It's just a bad habit. It's just because you're afraid of losing out on something, right? You have to take care of your energy.
Yeah. So
you don't need to reinvent yourself. You just need calibration.
Yeah.
It's a little bit. But what we see every time we work with people is that the change goes so much faster when they work with someone who knows how to do it, right? That you have to work on your mindset and your skill set. Most often you have your skill set. But then you change. We have a client now who said that in 5 to 7 years I will do that. And after, I worked with him for like 3 weeks, and now, next year I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Because I make him believe it, right? That he can.
That story is not unique. That's a lot of clients that has exactly the same story.
Yeah, and my mentor said the same thing. One day we will laugh about how scared you were, and it's going to be faster and be better than you ever thought was possible if you do what I tell you to do, he said. And it is. When you look back, it's like, wow, I had no idea.
No.
Of course, there are challenges that we have to solve. That is what life is about. But that it should be this fast and this good, I didn't know.
So what advice can you give to someone that's listening here? What is one simple way to starting reconnecting with yourself this week?
Well, you can just take a weekly check, the alignment. You can just check with your alignment. What gave me energy this week? What drained my energy this week? What felt true? True in your heart. The truth will always resonate with you, right? And what felt automatic? If you do more things that drain you, and you do things automatic more than you do it true, then you should start to be aware of that.
And what should
study yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Study yourself. Be honest. Change happens when you're brutally honest, right? I wanted to be fit. I didn't dare to go on the weight scale. I want to go on the weight scale, and I tell you what it is, right? Because I was afraid of that. I didn't like to see the result, right? And then I waited until I was a little bit fitter until I stepped on it. But now it's like it is what it is, right? 2 days ago I was 1 kilo up, now I'm down again, right? Yeah, because you have to be brutally honest with yourself. If you want something, be brutally honest with yourself. Yeah. I'm not happy. Change.
Yeah. So what should people stop doing?
Well, stop ignoring the signal. Stop ignoring the signal. If it feels off, it is off. Right? And stop adding more effort into something that feels wrong, because it will only get worse. I did that, And we all know that as high achievers, if you're a manager or a top manager, or you run your own business or whatever, it's like, it's so easy to spin on adrenaline and just take that and take that and take that and take that, but it won't make you happy. And don't wait, when I retire, I will have this really good pension. Yeah, you don't know if you live that long.
No.
So why wait? Bob Proctor said that. He used the time glass as an example. He said, the only thing you know is how much time you have had. You don't know if tomorrow will be gone. And the only, money comes and goes, and it's easy to make money, right? In many, many different ways. But today never comes back. Time never comes back. And most people, they regret what they didn't do. Most people don't regret what they did. They regret what they didn't do. So stop. It's a good sentence, right? Stop outsourcing your inner authority. Stop outsourcing happiness. You will never be happy with the things that are around you. First, you are happy inside you, and then you change the circumstances. You're not stuck, right? It's important. You're not stuck. You're not late. You just have outgrown your current life and your current structure. And if you want to change. All you need to do is to make that committed decision. I want change. I want something else. Right? And when you decide, make that committed decision. Don't make it a resolution where you go to the gym and then 2 weeks later you have been there 3 times and then you say, now I have it, so now I don't need discipline. No, that is not. You have to be disciplined on the things that you want to do. Right? And that is where your next chapter begins. And you make the committed decision. This I will do. And that is what all successful people do. make fast decisions, and they don't change them. Most people are really slow at making decisions and they change fast. That's the wrong way. Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope this was helpful for you. The goal for us was to lift you up and say that it's absolutely possible to change. If we can do it, you can do it.
It's not only possible, it's fun.
And it's really fun. Yeah. And everything we do is to
your success.
Your success. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If something in this episode spoke to you, it may be a sign that you are ready for a different kind of life. Krister and Elin work with a small number of high achievers who feel it is time for their next chapter. If that feels like you can apply for a private clarity call through the link in the show notes. Until next time, to your success.